gamers, and welcome to episode 360 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for January 30th, 2022. I'm one of your co-hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's going great, man. I know for the people up north from us, not so great with all the snow, but
yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to be selfish and be like, hey, we didn't get it.
Nope.
Woo!
We got enough just to look pretty.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yes, thank you, Jesus. Because I did not want to be bothered with that. God, because even though I don't have to shovel my way, I tend to. Yeah. Because sometimes people in the house force me to. But because they have to still walk up to the parking lot. So, I mean, like I usually, it all depends how it snows. Like if nobody comes out yet, and then I'll go, or I will salt or something like that. Like if it's not, it feels like it's still too slippery. But yeah, it didn't get really bad for us here. So, but up north, man, I feel bad for you, or good for you if you're those kids who like, hey, no school. Maybe you're a person who don't like going to work. You're actually okay. Like this is still good for you. Like you don't have to go to work. It's like, yay. Other than that, and like getting stuck or being stuck in your house and stuff. Like I'm sure they had those problems and like things plumbing, freezing and shit.
Losing power.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Losing power is the worst. I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever had. I'm lucky to not have that problem yet in my life where I lost power and it was cold.
Yeah.
I have lost power when it was hot. I would rather lose power in the cold because at least I can build a fire.
Yeah. Build a fire. Yeah.
But hot, I don't know what you do. I honestly don't know what you do. I think one time in my old house, we had lost power for a bit. I got into the bathtub, like water or something like that. Yep. But that only helped last for so long because I had nowhere to hook my PlayStation up, so that didn't work for me. I was like, I'm bored. But anyway, I guess we get right down to it. You got anything you want to say? Anything big? Anything big happened this week?
I don't think so.
Nothing big happened this week, right? Okay, so get right to it. Half-ass sports news stuff. All right, so we got the playoffs for the NFL going on now. We got the championships for both leagues. No Tom Brady, so I'm happy. And the rumor is he's going to retire. I'm not sure it's been confirmed yet because it seemed like it was confirmed, but now it's not again. And it's like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with my heart.
Got to keep you guessing.
Just retire. Like, I want to keep hearing about that and where Aaron Rodgers is going to play. That's enough right there. We was able to talk about that part of the news last week that Aaron Rodgers lost. So we know so 49ers, so you know the 49ers are in, but they're playing against the Rams, which the 49ers have beaten the Rams twice during the season. But I think they say it's hard to be a team 3 times. And I've seen that. I mean, I've seen the team beat team 3 times, but I've also seen it the other way too. We'll see what happened. Well, I think last year we saw it. Saints beat the Buccaneers 2 times in the regular season and lost in the playoffs because they cheated. But anyway, Sean Payton for the Saints retired. That's the coach for the Saints. So, yeah, Saints is going to have a new coach there. And I forgot to talk about the other league. You got the Kansas City is back in the AFC Championship game playing against the Bengals, which people are surprised to see. I think Kansas City is going to win. I'm kind of seeing Kansas City and Rams, but I don't really have a team that I definitely want to see. But what I kind of want is the Bengals though, because that's they're like the low dogs. They're the underdogs here. And I kind of want to see them. They went 1-15 last year. And now they're just one game away from the Super Bowl. That's kind of cool. But you know what? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, this is going to be the start of this is like him getting the second trophy, his second Super Bowl. And then it could be like, oh, greatness is really, we're seeing greatness right now because, I should have started last year. It should have been last year he would have won. So that's what I'm kind of mad at him because he showed me last year. Even though it's funny I say I'm mad at him, even though it's a team sport. But hey, they make it so that quarterback's so important, so I blame him. Even though it's not his fault that his offensive line just wasn't blocking and anything. But I think Kansas City's going to win it. I'm kind of rooting for Bengals, but I don't mind. I don't mind these teams that's in here now. You know, all the teams that I dislike are out, which is the Cowboys and Tom Brady. It's like that. That's it. So what else is going on? Ben Roethlisberger also officially retired. That's sad news, I guess, if you're a Steelers fan or Ben Roethlisberger's fan. Like, it's end of an era. I mean, he had a good career. He had a great career, I should say. He won 2 Super Bowls. He's been to playoffs a bunch of times. He's been All-Star a few times. All-Pro, I guess you should say, for football. So, yeah, he has a great football career. Other than that, I think that's it for football. I don't think this was any retirements. I mean, there's some coaching hirings, but I don't really know all of them. And people I heard of, I don't really know them. So I'm not even going to mention it. So I'm just going to go right straight to basketball. Basketball, they got the All-Star players all set up now before they do that All-Star draft they do now, which they've been doing for 4 years now or so. So, of course, LeBron is starting. KD is starting on the East side. And them two are going to be picking. But another year, this is going to be another year. I think I don't know if KD's going to be healthy by the All-Star game is going to start. So it's going to be like last year, because last year he wasn't healthy. But he still got the pick because he was a top pick. And I was like, but after seeing what he did last year and their team just getting blown out, I don't want him to pick. They should just give it to somebody who's actually going to play.
Yeah.
So anyway, but it was a big surprise this year. A guy named Anthony Wiggins for Golden State is a starter. And the people who know basketball, most people are saying, this guy ain't an all-star starter. He's barely an all-star, honestly. And he got to be starting in an all-star game, like over some pretty damn good players. And like his numbers, I look at his numbers, and maybe his numbers were big this year. They're good, but they're not all-star good. And he never was that type of player that was like a big draw. I'm thinking, like somebody said, they think the K-pop people were voting. Was that a thing? Like, was there like a thing with the K-pop? It's like, hey, we're going to vote for this guy or something.
Everything that exists is affected by K-pop stans, Dominic.
That's what I know. This either the ballots were stuff, or like my brother said, he think it was fixed. He think it was a deal between him and the NBA because he was one of those people who was anti-vaxxers. He ended up taking the vaccine. They say maybe it was a deal that, hey, you gotta let me be in the All-Star game, and I'll take this vaccine. So it's like, okay, we'll make it done. We'll get it done. That's my brother, because he said, there's no way in hell that he would beat out like a guy named Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic he's a big time player. Like, he's great. And he basically has a whole country voting for him. So it's like, how? I mean, I don't know the population of the country though, but still, I feel like of the world, people are voting for this dude. And people actually voted more for Wiggins than him. That's hard to see. Like, that is hard to see. But good for him, man. I mean, that's good for contract reasons and things like that. Money reasons. Say, hey, I'm an all-star. I don't know I'm not going to say all the players' names who's starting or anything. Do I remember on top of my head? I know it's okay. Anthony Wiggins, Steph Curry, LeBron James. See, that's all I can remember for the West. In the East, I remember DeRozan. Who's a guard? Oh, Morant is for the West. Okay, I remember Morant was for the West. I still missed a player from the West. Oh, it's another foreigner. What's his name? On the Nuggets, the center on the Nuggets. He's starting. Now on the East, I said DeRozan, KD. Let me see. You have Embiid, Antetokounmpo. The guard. Is it LaMelo Ball?
Oh,
I think it's one of the Ball brothers, the youngest one.
Okay.
I want to say him, but I feel like it might be someone else. I'm trying to think of another guard it could have been. Oh, okay. I was totally wrong. And Trae Young. I'm definitely going to edit this because I was reading close. But anyway, but no, Trae Young. Trae Young is starting. Yeah. So you got any big wrestling news?
The Royal Rumble happened last night, and Ronda Rousey.
That's on a Saturday? Why didn't? Oh, because it's because of football?
Because of football. Yep,
okay.
Exactly. Yeah, so, which was good because it went on till like midnight, basically.
Okay, okay. I'm looking at ESPN right now. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And it's saying Tom Brady set to retire after 22 years. So I'm guessing.
But is that
sort
official?
of
Because like I feel like that's the way all of this has been reported. Is just like, oh yeah, he's said to do it, and then it's people who are close to the situation.
Because he said I don't want to take too much away from this weekend. I'm going to wait till this weekend's done, and then I'm going to have like a big news conference on the Capitol, and to announce my retirement.
And then they're going to go into the Capitol.
And they want to say, go Brandon, or something like that.
Yes.
They're going
to say, let's go Brandon.
Yep. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Royal Rumble happened last night. It was an okay show by the time it got to the men's Royal Rumble match, which was the last match. Everything was kind of extremely predictable, and like I said, it went on very late. So it was kind of a slog. I was definitely falling asleep during that match. They started out with Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins came out through the crowd to the Shield music, dressed in like the old SWAT gear stuff to get in Roman's head, and that was really good. But they ended up doing like a non-finish there. Roman Reigns put Seth Rollins into a guillotine choke, and then Seth Rollins got his hand on the ropes, but Roman Reigns wouldn't let go, so they disqualified him. So technically Seth Rollins won, and that could have been all right if they were going towards like WrestleMania with this feud, even though I really wish they would have chosen someone else to get the big win off of Roman Reigns to win that title, because now he's like one of the people that have held that title the longest in ever. He's at like 400 and something days. And like, that's how you build a new star. You have, someone younger or someone newer come up and beat him for that and go, this guy's a legitimate threat. But instead we have someone who's extremely established already in Seth Rollins. The unfortunate thing was even that was negated by what happens later in the show. So after that was the women's battle royale Royal Rumble match. Ronda Rousey returned. She won. Okay, whatever. I think Ronda is she's actually pretty good of a wrestler for someone who's coming from the outside. Obviously she has her issues. But also, like, just the fact, I don't know. It's just one of those stunt things that WWE is going to do. She's going to face Becky Lynch, once again bringing someone from the outside to basically legitimize them because they're not legitimate. So they're like, oh, we have to get this UFC star to come in and win our championship or whatever. That'll be fine. And then eventually you get there are a couple other filler matches. Becky Lynch beats Doudrop in basically a nothing match. And you have Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, which people were excited about. Those two, big dudes, legit UFC and MMA careers. Bobby Lashley was in Bellator for a while there, and I think was undefeated there. So there was some excitement there. And Bobby Lashley won, which is cool, but he won because Roman Reigns came in and speared Brock Lesnar because they had beef going back a couple of months. They were actually supposed to have a match at the day one pay-per-view before it was confirmed that Roman Reigns got COVID. They were basically fighting over like possession of Paul Heyman because, he was being the advocate for Roman Reigns at the time, and then Brock Lesnar came back and it's like, hey, whose side are you on, blah blah blah. So as it turns out, he's been playing Brock Lesnar this whole time, and he sided with Roman Reigns, gave him the title, and he hit Brock, and Bobby Lashley won. So that's cool that Bobby Lashley won, but now here we are with Brock wanting to go after Roman, despite the fact that you've already got this story with Roman and Seth that I feel like is far more interesting. And once you see this, you kind of, or at least me and I think a lot of fans of the products were like, okay, I see where this is going. Brock Lesnar is going to win the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble. And sure enough, he comes in at the end. He was number 30. He comes in, quickly eliminates, most of the guys who were there at the end and eventually wins it. And Brock Lesnar is a guy that you don't need to have win the Royal Rumble to say, I want this specific match. He could have very easily just showed up on SmackDown next week, said, Roman Reigns, screwed me over. I was supposed to beat him at day one. We never had that match because his bitch ass caught COVID or whatever. And now I want that match at WrestleMania. You could have did that. You could have had somebody else win the Royal Rumble and give them that shine. But instead, you had Brock Lesnar do it for whatever reason.
What's the one before WrestleMania?
Well, they're doing Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia this year. I think that might be the only pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
And it's not going to be a championship thing there, right?
Well, it's weird because sometimes they'll do the Elimination Chamber for like number one contendership, or sometimes they'll just have the champion defend the title in the Elimination Chamber. It's kind of a way to like if the title is currently on someone that they didn't want it on, they throw like 6 people in the Elimination Chamber, so it gives you a way out basically if they want to do that. Yeah, I could see them just not even have Roman defend in the Elimination Chamber. I think previous years or maybe last year he was like, nah, that's just not what I'm going to do. Yeah, so it's weird because now you have Lashley as the champion on Raw, but you don't really have anyone that's built up to face him, and that's why it would have been good to have someone else on that brand win the Royal Rumble, so you can start a storyline, start building something, whereas with Brock and Roman, you already have this thing inherently there. And of course, again, Brock Lesnar is a guy that can literally just say, this is the match I want. This is the match I'm going to have. So it feels like they constantly waste the opportunities that they have. Like it's silly in that way. And, it's what WWE's been doing forever now. So it's hard to complain about and not just say, well, don't watch it, because for the most part, I'm not. Like, I actually was watching the pre-show last night because I haven't been following WWE for the most part. Like, I kind of knew what matches were happening, but I had no idea who was actually in the Rumble matches. Especially the women's match was like a good portion of legacy people, Ivory coming back and Lita and stuff like that. And then there's like the factor of they've changed so many people's music that, part of the excitement of the Royal Rumble is like they do the countdown and then you hear that music hit and you're like, oh my God, it's this person. And like half the time I'm like, who's this? Who is this coming out now? Oh, okay. And they do a really bad job of like showing you who it is too, because they always do the countdown and then the music hits and then they cut to like a crowd reaction, which half the time is just like, oh, I don't know what's happening going on. What is going on? And then they finally cut to whoever it is that's coming out. And it's just like, you just show me who it is and then I can be excited with the crowd. Then you can cut to the crowd reaction, even though I just hate the crowd reaction shots, but that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah, that's that's wrestling. I'm just complaining at this point. But yeah, Royal Rumble. And with that, we're leading into WrestleMania season. So,
what's the next big event for the other
AEW? What is the next one? I want to say Revolution is their next big thing, and honestly, I'm not quite sure what they're building to for that one quite yet, because they're doing Hangman is the champion. They're doing Lance Archer, which very much feels just like a kind of filler defense. They're also leading up to, I think I mentioned Jon Moxley's back, or maybe I didn't because we kind of skipped that stuff last week, but Jon Moxley's back from from rehab. He's in great shape now. He's lost a lot of weight. Like, looking back on photos from before he left, you could see he was actually kind of bloated looking, and it wasn't something that was like obvious at the time, but now, like, looking at side-by-side comparisons, it's like, my God, he's changed. But it seems like they're doing him versus Daniel Bryan somewhere down, or Bryan Danielson somewhere down the line. Cody's doing a weird thing because he's, like, apparently not signed a contract, but people are, talking about whether that's just a storyline thing, or if it's a storyline for their Roads to the Top reality show, that's going to be the storyline of season 2. Ooh, won't he, sign a contract? Will he show up in WWE Royal Rumble? Obviously he didn't. Yeah, but I don't know where they're actually going. They do. I think the biggest thing happening on AEW right now is probably MJF, who's a younger star. He's a heel, and versus CM Punk. Allegedly, that's happening next week in Chicago, but it also feels like kind of too big a match to just have on television, because there's a good chance that MJF will actually beat CM Punk, and that'll be CM Punk's first loss since coming back. So there's some speculation that they might find a way to, kind of schmoz that and kick the can down the road till the pay-per-view. But yeah, I think we're still a ways out from Revolution. Let's see if there's a date on it. March 6th. Yeah, so they've still got some time before they kind of get into overdrive, actually figuring out where they're going with that stuff. But
okay.
On a weekly basis, it's still a good wrestling product. There's good matches and some fun storylines there. Now, like I was telling you before we started recording, I canceled cable, so I don't know how much wrestling I'm gonna be able to see now, because AEW doesn't have like a WWE network or Peacock style thing in America.
They don't.
Yeah,
TNT
they have a thing.
It has an app, but that's because you
cable,
have the
right?
service. Yeah.
They do have an agreement with like Fight TV or something in Europe, so there's potential to like get a VPN and then sign up for that. But I don't know if I care enough to do that, or if I'm just going to end up following on Reddit, just clips and stuff, because most of that stuff gets posted there. But yeah, that's kind of where wrestling is right now.
Okay. So I guess we move on to what we've been watching. So who's starting off? Am I starting off? You starting off? Because I
can
left the page.
Start it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure maybe because we'll probably talk more spoilery about Spider-Man, I would imagine, so we can save that for last. I'll start off with Arcane. I finished that last week, but we didn't talk about TV stuff last week. That was incredible. I'm glad you recommended that I start watching that. Coming in as not a League of Legends fan and not really knowing anything about any of the characters, I think it does a real good job of familiarizing you with those people, kind of bringing you up to speed as to who they are, and it probably isn't really that relevant to the game.
I don't think it's relevant at all.
Yeah. I wonder if they have like, Blizzard-esque backstory trailers or something for some of those characters that maybe would let you know a little more about it from that series. But yeah, I mean, it's just not necessary. It's a good show standalone, and when like, oh, this champion's in there or whatever, like, oh, that's a little fun. You can be like, oh, this guy's gonna become this guy or whatever.
Yeah, well, me, I don't even know they're champions until after I look up the character.
Exactly,
who's in the show.
Yeah, that's like, what is his name? Chase, the main dude that becomes like a politician guy. Like, you eventually see him with a hammer, and you're like, oh, I wonder if that means he's like a hero or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the writing, the acting in it, I think is extremely good. The art style of it, at first, I wasn't completely sold on, but by the end of it, I thought it's a really beautiful show.
You like Imagine Dragons now?
You know what? I don't hate them. No, they've always been fine to me. They have catchy ass music.
Me too. I never. Imagine Dragons. They had some of the songs are catchy to me. I like.
I didn't think it was necessary for them to literally just have a performance in the show, though.
The music. I saw the music video that it's with the show. It's his own thing too. Okay. Like the music video, like his own drawings that weren't even in the show.
Interesting.
So I mean that it looked kind of cool, but I know that song was kind of catchy though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like it. But yeah, when I saw that they were actually in the show, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was like, I don't need this part, but okay, this is fine.
But I think they're big fans because they used them apparently in like one of their tournaments. Like they had a theme song thing. Well, it was a song still from my album, but it was a song they used at one of the tournaments or something. And I was like, oh, and I was like, maybe you must have like a fandom thing with them because it's like I heard this before. But yeah, that show I'm surprised how actually good it is, honestly.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited if they're going to do a second season. It feels like there's plenty of story left there to tell. So
I know. Yeah,
give it to me.
The way, especially the way it ended. I mean, I definitely want to see it finished. All right, what else you see?
All right. I also watched, I guess at this point, it would be like the last 2 episodes of Peacemaker. It's still a show that I'm enjoying watching, but I'm not like, I need more of this. You know, I'm not super into it, but I think it's fun at times. I think the latest episode was a lot of fun. There was a lot of action going on in that.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
And the chainsaw bit was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. And I mean, first I was thinking like, oh my God, is that Gorilla Grodd? Is like what the fuck? But it's like, oh, okay, it was just those things in a Gorilla
Charlie
brain.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, because I was like, oh no, they killed Gorilla Grodd, and I was like,
and they're definitely trying to like make Peacemaker a redeemable character. Like they show him sad a lot, and you know they're trying to make you emotional about him.
Yeah, then something happened with like his brother. So that's supposed to be really big on him and his mind, and they really make the father really, really evil. So you can really feel like, oh man, it's his father's fault.
I thought it's so stupid. I did like the joke of like, oh, he gives everybody nicknames based on their penises.
Yeah. So, like I said, yeah. See, that's his thing. He's just a bully. And then he tried to go off and say, "Hey, people make fun of me too." He said, "What they call me a bully."
Exactly.
That made me feel bad.
Yeah. It's stupid and fun, and I enjoy watching it. It's not something that's necessarily going to stick with me, but it's fun.
The funny thing is, I like the vigilante guy the best. Honestly, I like him. But I'm afraid that because the way he reacted to that chainsaw thing, like I said, that was my stick. I was afraid, like, is he gonna get like jealous or mad or something and
become like the villain of the series?
Yeah, I was like, I hope not. I mean, or if he does, it's not in a way where he dies. It's actually like his character,
which is funny because like his whole thing is like he's like a sociopath. Like he doesn't react to things in the way that people would. He's like, you know, I'll murder children. you know.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
do
but I think for himself, because that's really.
That's true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is a very.
Yeah, he's selfish guy because he says like they're not your friends. Like as you said, they're not your friends here, but now they're becoming his friends. I wonder if that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't know how many more episodes there are, but it definitely feels like there has to be more than like one. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Also watched Book of Boba this week. And last week's. Last week, honestly, I can't even remember what happened.
The gorilla guy to be on his side. I mean, the
Chewbacca guy.
Chewbacca guy, yeah.
Okay.
He got him to work for him, and he's trying to get all the people, all the other factions
that's when he
together.
Meets with like the leaders and whatnot, right?
I guess the spice people,
Pike Syndicate,
giving away spice and selling spice.
Yeah. Everything. Oh, that's also the one where he's like he gets his ship back, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets the ship back.
The flashback with him getting his ship back.
They did rename it to like the Firefly or something like that. The Fire Starter or something. It's not the Slave One anymore. I
did not see that. I totally missed that. They renamed it. Okay.
Yeah, he's like.
Oh man, I could just imagine Daniel. Just imagine the Reddit forums.
I think that's the only reason I even noticed it was because I saw before the episode. I think that somebody was like, "Oh, they renamed his ship," and I was like, "Oh, okay, who cares?"
Like you said, it was a dumb name.
It's not a good name to begin with. So who the fuck cares?
It really wasn't. I mean, I guess because it's been there for years, since those toys been out. People
and it's not like that.
Used to it.
Does he ever even say it in the movie? Does he say like put Han in the Slave One? It was just literally a thing on a toy.
But Daniel, there are books.
That's
and maybe comic books too.
Yep, absolutely.
That do it. So those people, they have a right to be angry.
Yeah, man.
You know what I say, Daniel? March on that Capitol.
Oh boy.
And tell them you want that Slave One back.
Yes.
Don't take away our Star Wars.
During Tom Brady's retirement speech.
March on Disney World. March on the Epcot Center, in front of Epcot Center or something.
Oh, good.
Or the castle.
I was going to say march on that new Star Wars the resort thing that's supposed to be like a spaceship or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. But in that episode, I actually liked seeing him be like a maniacal asshole and just gun those dudes on the bikes down, like with Slave One. Like that's the Boba Fett we expect to see. And yeah, it's like you said, this is just not the Boba Fett I expected to see, and I'm still enjoying the series as a show, but as a Boba Fett show, it's definitely falling short, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how, like, I feel in the Marvel Universe movies, how I feel about Thor. Like, I like him, but when I think of Thor, I'm like, I don't like him. I don't like that Thor, but I like the character.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish it was.
You could have called him somebody else.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing. I mean, I'm used to it now, but I still feel. I just think like, this is just a different Thor, and I technically it's going to be some other Thor, so I don't even know what the hell he's going to be called. I mean, Thor 1, Thor 2, or something. I don't know. Well, okay. I guess it's me now.
Real quick, just the latest episode of Mando. I think. Or,
shit! Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Not the latest episode. Well, technically, the latest episode of Mando. Latest episode of Boba Fett was Mandalorian focused. Didn't even have Boba Fett in there whatsoever, and I think was pretty easily the best episode of Boba Fett so far because, like, you get Mando with the Darksaber wielding that. Finding out that he's having trouble wielding it because, there's like doubt in his mind that he rightfully is carrying it or whatever. And then, it goes back to the armor and just seeing him basically expelled from their faction or whatever. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but he wants to get back in. I want to know, is he going to get back in or he just going to realize they're crazy?
Yeah. Because there's also, 2 of them left to like...
Maybe other ones are doing some bounty work, I'm assuming. Because, in the cartoon anyway, when Mandalore was still a planet, I mean, I think all through history, it's been wars with Mandalore, and it's been rebuilt, and their way is like an ancient way. While Mandalore has evolved to something like, they don't wear helmets, you have to have your helmet on and not let people see your face. That wasn't a thing when I saw it in the the Clone Wars cartoon. So I'm okay with going back that way. I'm gonna say like, hey, these are zealots, and there you go. Like, look, that is not the way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, yeah, nah, it's not the way. Because it's like he felt like with Boba. Boba's like, I'm not part of that. Like he said, this armor I'm supposed to take it from you because like he doesn't respect the weight. It's like, yeah, you ain't taking my armor. And just like that woman who was supposed to have the saber. Well, I ain't say supposed to, but who previously had the saber. And I saw the episode when she was given a saber. So now that I know you're supposed to battle for it, I guess it's like, oh, that's wrong. But I don't know if he could, because she can still wield it. That's the thing.
Right.
She still willed it, but I guess they said that that's why it got destroyed. It's because she had it. Which I want to know if that's the truth or that's just a coincidence.
I'm sure we'll find out.
What else happened? I like that he did have, like, they talk about Gordo. Is it Gordo? That's his name?
Grogu? The
Grogu.
Baby Yoda?
Okay.
Yeah.
They, like, he's getting him, like, some type of gift or something.
It's like chainmail or something.
Yeah. yeah.
Baby chainmail.
Oh, man.
Should have built him a lightsaber hilt.
But they said it's not supposed to be a weapon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
So, see, that's another weird thing, Daniel.
Yeah.
That was my favorite episode, too, so far of the Boba Fett.
What did you think of him getting a Naboo starfighter?
That was cool.
It was funny seeing that when they unveiled
And
it.
the pod racing, you see the pod, like, going through all the canyons just like the pod racer did. That was interesting. Because at first, Daniel, I thought it was a pod racer. When under that thing, I was like, holy shit, they're going to give him a pod racer spaceship. Because when I saw those twin engines, I was like, holy shit, they're giving a pod. Then I saw, it's that Naboo fighter. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was a pod. She used pod racer engines.
Yep.
We built it. Because when he was going all through the canyon and stuff, so they really going to have him going through the pod racing shit.
Yep, they even, like, where Anakin goes off up the hill or whatever and breaks through the barrier. That barrier was there, still broken. They know what they're doing, Dominic. They know what they're doing.
So they're having pod race since that.
They haven't pod race since that day.
Or they just didn't bother fixing it. They say, oh, fuck it.
They said that's a shortcut now. We play Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, did Anakin technically cheat?
Absolutely.
All right, so I guess we can get to what I watched. Stargirl. I finished the first season of Stargirl. Okay. There's been 2 seasons so far. And this is not your typical CW show. Like, I mean, I think it was definitely backed by, I don't know who, but streaming service. And maybe they showed episodes later on CW. Maybe they did like what they did with Swamp Thing. I think last summer they put Swamp Thing on CW for everybody can see it. And maybe they did that with Stargirl. Like, it appeared after it was all finished streaming. Like, the production value is bigger. And I think what I like better about this than the other CW shows is tighter. Like, like each episode, like, I never get to a point where I feel like it's kind of dragging on. Like, something's dragging on. They don't do that. The story's tight where I actually want to finish. Like, because for me personally, I tend to take breaks now. As I get older, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not into certain shows like that where I can just stay an hour and sit down and watch it. I might take a break at the halfway point. I might watch 30 minutes, 20-something minutes of it and say like, okay, I'll finish it later or something like that. Because I don't know. Some reason I just feel like either I gotta watch something different or do something else. It's something about that where I just can't sit for the whole duration of a show unless I really like it. And this show, I can do that. Mandalorian, I could do that. I mean, on Boba Fett, I think I do that too. Peacemaker, I take breaks. But Arcane's only about 20-something minutes, so I watch it all. But yeah, the half-an-hour shows, I can do that. But hour shows, it's got to be something I'm really, really into where I can just sit down and not pause it and be like, I'll come back and watch the rest of it later. So, and like, that's the thing with this is like the story's so tight. It's not a whole lot of that drama, that kind of Dawson Creek type of drama. So it makes me into the story. The ending was good, but there was some cliffhanger stuff that happened, which I'm curious of how they go about this. But yeah, I recommend the show. Like, I think it's a good comic book series to watch. And I guess we can talk about now Spider-Man, because now I finally saw it in theaters. And I actually went to security to watch it. So this is the first time I've been to security since it remodeled. And they got the nice seats there now.
Ooh, nice.
And it's all right.
Is it built up a little more, or is it still kind of flattish?
The theater I was in was flat-ish, but it's steps going down.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's like, but thing is, because when we were picking our seats, because we bought tickets at there, I was confused because I was like, my friend was saying, this is the back. And I was like, it's handicapped seats here. It's got to be the front. And it's like, so I was asking the lady, what's the front or the back? She said, that's the back. And the reason why the handicapped seats were in the back is because those steps, they don't have a ramp. It
starts high and then goes down.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't have a ramp. So for them to go down the steps. So they all handicappers in the back. And
interesting.
Yeah. And their seats, this is the first time I've been in seats that are red.
Huh.
I've been used to seats that were black at all these theaters.
They started out black, Dominic. It's all the blood.
So, but the seat, they have those nice seats, that goes. It don't have the seats where, well, I forget what theater it is, where it's not just 2 buttons, it's more than 2 buttons to do. Like, you can make the back go back and the legs. This does bring the back and legs at the same time up. So it's just, it's nice that they have that there, because now I'm like, maybe I don't have to go that far, to go. And I think it's pretty cheaper here. So, I mean, I haven't compared prices, really. And because my friend had a gift card, so we just use that. But yeah, Spider-Man. But back to Spider-Man. The great movie. We won't get to spoilers. I am shocked that Aunt May died. I did not see that coming.
Thought if anybody, it would have been like Happy or something like that.
Maybe, yeah. And so, I mean, I didn't really expect like a tragedy in that way. I thought how it ended with him forgetting stuff. I mean, not him forgetting, but people forgetting. I thought that would happen.
Yeah. And
it did. I thought that was going to be really the big tragedy, really. But nah, my aunt made that. Oh man, this is sad. And then it didn't go too long with the sadness. Like it was a good amount, but it was very sad that I wanted to stop. I said, "Come on, man, you're gonna make me cry now. Let's get to fight somebody. Let's go fight somebody." But no, that was a good scene. A very sad scene. I think they did a good job with that. The adding the characters from the other Spider-Man were great. I think they did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
And like, I see what you meant by Sandman. So I was thinking when you said about Sandman, obviously, I know what the hell you're talking about. I said, oh God, this must be something. I don't know. But I know what you're talking about. I guess the actor couldn't be there. And so they just always had him in sand form. Yeah. So he doesn't look human until the very end, which I noticed they do that with the computerized faces. You know, the fake faces, they always seem to be in dark places. So you don't see how fake it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because apparently that was like footage from the old movie that they used, because they couldn't get him like at all.
But I mean, that's fine. It got those nerds, the CG nerds, to do some more, CG. It got them some more work.
They just love themselves making some CG.
Jamie Foxx, I mean, he was great. Yeah. Lizard wasn't much. I mean, but he wasn't bad. It just wasn't much there. Because in reality, I guess he still has a lizard brain. Not that they say he's dumb, but he's still thinking like making everybody a lizard. Because I would think like he will still be somewhat of a doctor, but I guess he's still in that primal kind of way. But like Doc Ock was great. Goblin, I love that. Like my friend said, they really showed our Goblin's strength in this one. Yeah. And this one, you really see how Goblin is strong, like with him fucking pile driving him shit through fucking 15 floors and shit like that and everything. It was really interesting that the building's kind of empty, which, I mean, they destroyed a lot of property, but I didn't see a lot of people dying. Yeah. And for me, I was okay with that. Just like what Superman. I just said, hey, those people got out. They got away somehow.
Then Batman versus Superman showed that they did not.
They did not. I said, oh shit, they didn't. I said, y'all listen to those fans. That's why they did it. No, I would say everybody got saved. Just like in the cartoons. Just like cartoons, nobody dies. It's like that's how I used to think comic books were. I used to thought they were like the cartoons because that's what I saw first. I was like, nobody dies. When I read the comic, I was like, oh my God, this is not like the cartoon. Not everybody's supposed to get saved. But anyway, it's not really a bad thing, but I have to say, like, Peter really fucked up. And this, I mean, you can blame Doctor Strange too. It's like, you let this kid convince you to do this fucking spell. Yeah. And you should just said, no, either everybody forgets you or nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, or you don't do this spell.
He was very quick to agree.
Exactly. He really was.
Even though Wu warned him. And he's just like, oh, we do this for parties. Who cares?
He doesn't listen to him. He's not going to listen to him.
He's the Sorcerer Supreme, damn it. He should listen to him.
Yeah, technically he is now.
Because he went away for 7 years. So you know what? He can't be Sorcerer Supreme.
I'm trying to think what else I want to mention. But yeah, Peter fucked, because he really should have just, he wouldn't have killed them. He really should have just
called the administrator.
He could have just went back. He could have just sent him back and let the fates happen. And I say, I hope for the best that you'll go to heaven. After you die.
Repent right before you die.
Yeah. Cool to see the Spider-Mans. Now, honestly, for me, even though I heard rumors, mostly from you and my friends, which so I blame you for spoiling it. Because I never really, because what I read on the internet is never confirmed. Because the last thing I read was Andrew Garfield say he wasn't in there. So I took it at face value. I said, okay. So
never trust Andrew Garfield.
So it's going to probably, if there is going to be somebody, it's going to be just somebody in a Spider-Man mask, and you're never going to see the person under the mask. And when I saw that, I said, oh shit, that's cool. Andrew Garfield, like coming. Because at first, when I saw them call him Spider-Man, I knew like, that's not him.
Yeah, that's not the right one. Who's that?
That's not him. I said, it's got to be something to this. Because the way that's taking so long for them to get there, I said, yeah, something's happening. And I said, oh, okay. I say, oh man. Then I saw Peter. I was hoping that like, oh, maybe a cartoon version or some crazy shit happened. But anyway, that was cool to see. Andrew Garfield and
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, to see them in there. And I'm guessing now I'm confused about the time though, Daniel. Because if Green Goblin died and Dr. Octopus, is it different time periods too? They came through the dimensions?
It sure seems kind of messy in that sense, doesn't it?
I was hoping that they just say like this is either a new universe from what we even saw in the old movies. It's just that coincidentally those guys are still alive.
Yeah.
In that world. Like those movies ain't really like a canon. Like it was just they use a similar. Because now I'm confused because like he said, like Electro. I mean, I said, hey, Connors is not around.
Right.
I guess we're not supposed to think about that. But
yeah, I mean, Electro is definitely the one that like sticks out the most, right? Because it's like, why did his whole like demeanor change? And also, like, if you follow the threads, he never actually knew who Spider-Man was. And the spell is, they're bringing through people who know Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Honestly, Daniel, because I don't remember none of the Amazing Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember only parts of them.
Right.
I remember when Gwen Stacy died in the second one. Like, that's it for the second one. The first one, I remember the Lizard. And I remember the Cranes. Because it was so it was oh god, it was so corny. It was so corny.
Cranes lining up.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, we're gonna help Spider-Man," and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh, that's the corny shit." All right, so, but anyway,
but like even in this, like Jamie Foxx is like, "Oh man, I thought Spider-Man, was gonna be a black kid," and it's like, but you're supposed to know who Spider-Man is.
Yeah, that's why I said, when I saw that line, I said that's funny, but I said, wait a minute. Didn't he know?
Plot holes, Dominic. Plot holes.
Man, that's I mean, these are some obvious plot holes, but it seemed like so fixable. Like they could have just did something. They could have did something with this.
Yeah, not be so specific about why the spell happened the way it did or anything like that.
Don't be specific with it. Like, don't say that, for people who knew Spider-Man. It's like, just say the bad guys came fucking through. That's it. That's all you gotta say.
These are guys who have interacted with a Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they got through somehow. I mean, damn. So, but other than that, the movie was great. This is probably the best one of the new ones. Probably the best one I like. I mean, because to me, I like the. I don't know what I like better between the first and second one. I kind of like. I think maybe the first one, but this is the best one. Spider-Man I enjoyed out of all the Spider-Man, and
I think they put all the pieces together really well.
Yeah, they did. It was pretty cool, and I'm curious what happens from here with people now forgetting him. So he's back to square one. But here's the thing: there's another plot hole. Like when we first discussed it, was like, first of all, so nobody remembers him. Does he exist? Does he have to get a new social? Does he have to say like, I'm a missing person? I don't have a social security number. Where did he get money from to get an apartment?
From his bank account that doesn't it? I think it's got to be more like,
but you can't say Stark because my friend said Stark, but I was like, but Happy doesn't even know him.
Right? Yeah, I've heard people discuss it, like related to the comics. I guess in the comics, like they did a similar spell with I think Mephisto or something, or maybe it was still Doctor Strange, but it was in a different manner. And it's not that people don't know that Peter Parker is a person. It's just like they don't think about it further than that. They're just like, oh, yeah, Peter Parker, okay. And then just, oh, he's
so he
he's
still
a nobody.
Went to that school.
Right. Yeah. So, like, he could still exist in that school. He could still have a bank account and a social security card, but not, people just don't think about him and go, oh, shit, that's the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
It's convoluted comic book stuff.
He didn't get into MIT then, because I saw GED.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Time out. So.
Yeah, maybe he didn't go to the school, or maybe he got kicked out of the school.
That's what I'm saying.
Or had to leave the school. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's really why I think I almost said that he doesn't really exist kind of thing, because he got his GED. He was getting his GED, and I was like, why is he leaving school then? It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, Sony's got some splaining to do.
Somebody.
I do wonder where they're going to go with this, especially with like that end credits bit with Venom coming through and then immediately getting kicked back to his own universe and but leaving some symbiote behind. So like obviously we're going to get like a black suit Spider-Man thing at some point, possibly, but
excuse me. Maybe
that's how you feel about it. Huh?
Oh no, I was literally yelling.
No, but in reality, like it's hard to think of this Peter becoming so rage-filled that he would adopt the black suit in the way that you've seen in the past, when he's already kind of gone through that journey and reached the other side of it. Because like that would have been, well, I guess technically like he goes through Uncle Ben and then what's that?
I thought the suit made him rage.
I mean, like I thought it was like an accentuation thing, but yeah, I guess you're right. It was more like.
I thought he just had to suit. You say, "Oh, it feels good," but then as he kept it on, he became more angry.
That's true. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah,
but I see what you're saying. But it would just be that again.
Yeah,
it would just be what happened in the movie with whole Aunt May dying, and then he just beating the shit out of Green Goblin.
Yeah,
that was I thought Tobey Maguire died. I was like, "Come on, you're gonna do this." I was like, don't fucking do that shit. You don't even kill Aunt May. I mean, what the hell are you doing? I was thinking at that moment, like, oh my God, so now it's going to be in his universe. It's going to be nobody.
Yeah.
And like they're like I guess they're the only heroes in their universe. There's nothing else.
That's how they introduce Miles Morales, Dominic, in Tobey Maguire's universe.
Great movie. It's definitely worth seeing. The best movie of 2021 for me.
How many movies in 2021 did you see?
Black Widow.
Oh yeah,
Suicide Squad.
Shang-Chi.
Like I said, I like Black Widow better than that. And I saw about 10 minutes of the Eternals. I think it was like 20 minutes. It really nothing fucking happened. I saw 20 minutes of the Eternals so far. I'm going to finish it. This is going to be a process. Man, that's it seems like it's boring. So
it is.
It's my friend I was talking. It's like imagine seeing Internals sitting for 2 and some hours. Because that's the thing with Spider-Man, it was worth it those 2.5 hours, but I do feel it now. I do feel that 2.5 hours now being in the movie theater because I thought that credit scene was at the very very end, and I was like, "Yo, dude, we can go, man," because he saw it. He actually saw it before.
Oh, okay.
So I was saying we can go, but then I realized it's the mid credits. Oh, it's the mid credits. Okay, it's like good because I feel like if your movie is over 2 hours, please don't make people wait to the freaking end of the credits to watch another scene because that is a good 10 to 15, almost. That's a good 10 minutes, man.
Absolutely.
And it's like, dude, I'm not trying to. I already sat down for like 2.5 freaking hours.
Yeah, especially for this one, too, because the end credit sequence is literally just the trailer for Doctor Strange, which was already available online by the time even I saw it. So it was
I still haven't seen that trailer, so maybe I'll check it out. All right. So you got anything else you want to say about Spider-Man?
No, I enjoyed it, too.
Something else to mention about it that was really good or iffy.
I thought they did a good job of kind of redeeming / retconning Jamie Foxx's character because he played a major role in this. I know the Green Goblin kind of gets he's the main villain thing, but most of what happened was motivated by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, because Jamie Foxx, I mean, he still wanted power. It wasn't that. I guess they're trying to make it like that didn't really turn him evil. That just made him want to be something he wasn't. So he wasn't. So it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a thing like, hey, the electricity made me evil. That's because that's all I was thinking. I was like, why would Jamie Foxx want the charge thing? Can he still use power? I was about to say, if he can still use powers, he's just gonna still kill people and just. I don't know. I don't see like he's just being a good citizen now.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I didn't get for him that. And because for Doc Ock, I was like, okay, that chip was making him think that way.
Yeah, that's what drove him.
And Goblin
crazy.
is the same. So I understand. They seem fixable in the comic booky way.
Right.
But Jamie Foxx, how do you fix him? I mean, you can make it so that he doesn't want the power, but he said it feels good. Yeah. so yeah.
Being a nerd's cool, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, and I see Sandman why he wants it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But whatever. But Jamie Foxx was definitely a better Electro than in the other Spider-Man. Portrayed a whole lot better in this one. Oh yeah, and the Lizard. Why would the Lizard want to be turned back to human? Because he was trying to turn people to other fucking lizards.
He saw the regret of his ways, Dominic.
I didn't see that when they was in jail.
Yeah, it was especially weird when he was like, I'm just going to hang out in this truck and not get up to anything nefarious at all. And then eventually he's like, all right, I'm getting out of here. Cops are coming.
All right. So what else? Okay, that's it. So I guess we get into, we're going to take a break because this was kind of long. And when we come back, we get to what we've been playing.
All right.
And we're back. And we're going to get into what we've been playing. So you get started off.
Okay. So I just playing more Artful Escape. I don't remember where I was last podcast and where I am now in comparison to that. I've played a little bit more of it. I'm still feeling the same way about it. It's okay, but it's not really pulling me through. I'm not excited to necessarily see where the story goes. I feel like I have a pretty good bearing on where that is. But the spectacle and the look of it, it still draws me in to see what's next. But that's kind of where I am with that. But I did play last week, and I forgot to mention it, the demo for Inscription, which is a kind of deck building card battle game with some other weird elements from what I've heard. The demo only really shows that stuff because I think it gets crazier. Well, that's not true because there's a video at the end that gives you a hint as to some of the directions it goes in, but mostly I've heard about that from different podcasts and video game venues that I've watched. There's a lot of talk around this game as, like Game of the Year contender and whatnot like that. Just playing this demo, I think it's interesting because the way that you play the card game is definitely different from previous card games I've played. There's a lot of playing a card and then sacrificing it. Like a lot of the cards have like a blood requirement. So you put a card down that has 1 blood. You put another card down that has 2 blood. Now you can take one of your cards that is 3 blood and summon that by eliminating those 2 other cards, basically sacrificing them. So there's like an interesting element there. And then there's also cards like you can put them down and you can sacrifice them, but they don't actually get sacrificed. So you can, use them the next round or whatever, but they also take up a spot. So you can't lay a different card down. There's things like that. It's definitely just like a different style card game. So I find that interesting. The look of it is just real gritty. Like it's 3D, like it's a 3D world that you can explore. Well, you're kind of stuck in the cabin in this demo at least. But it has like this filter on it that's like this grain, like not even film grain. It's like digital grain that's just, it makes it kind of yucky. But I think just invokes the vibe that they're going for there. Just from the demo, is I only did like 3 or 4 battles, whatever, until kind of the first boss battle style thing. They were all relatively easy to complete. I think I did lose one, but I don't remember if I was supposed to lose it or not.
Is this game multiplayer?
I'm trying to think if there's. I don't think it's intended to be multiplayer. I think there is maybe a mod that lets you play it like versus another player. But mostly I think it's like story kind of focused stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I'm motivated to like go out and get it and play it through, just because I do have some trouble with card games, but also I've heard that it's kind of designed to be broken, so you can eventually get to a point where you have a card that basically is, you play it and you win. And if that's the case, not too far into the game, then I would definitely be intrigued to see where it goes as a weird conceptual thing, based on what I've heard about it. Is this on the Switch? This is on. I was playing it on Steam. I don't think it's on Switch yet. I don't know how well it would work on the Switch.
You gotta get Steam Deck
control wise. I would love a Steam Deck, Dominic. Steam, send us 2 Steam Decks, please.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if I could see it definitely coming to Steam at some point. I'd have to get further into it to see how weird it gets, to see if it's something that wouldn't necessarily work. I think it's kind of like Undertale in that kind of like, it gets weird about like the files that you have on your computer and stuff like that wouldn't quite play as well on a Switch, but they've done stuff like that. Like I think even Undertale is on the Switch at this point, so I'm sure they could figure out a way to do it. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that. It seems like a cool thing. I'm not like rushing out to get it, but if it popped up on Game Pass, I would maybe get into it. So yeah. So what have you been playing this week, Dominic?
I've been playing Psychonauts 2. I finished that game.
Oh, cool.
And it's a great game. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's a great platformer. I see why people had it up there on their lists, on for top games, like for platforming, or some people's top 10s. But yeah, I just love the creativity they have for each person's psyche when you go into their heads. Now, I want to go back. Well, not really go back, but because some of the psyches, I I miss a lot of collectibles, and where you have the safe where it kind of explains the person's past or why they think this way.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those things I missed on the first playthrough. Maybe I might go back, or maybe I might just look it up online and just to see what it was. I didn't do all the extra stuff like the collectibles. Some collectibles you can't do till after the game, so I hate that because I'm like,
yeah.
But then again, it's actually not that bad because when I was playing through after I finished really the main story, you talk to people reactions after the story, so you still could talk to people and and stuff. So it's still okay. I was like, okay, at least it's not like, you have to say, okay, you can reload. Like after the game, it's just kind of like a loading point before the boss or something, and you just gotta get collectibles. So it's like it's continuing and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely recommend the game. I'm actually a little surprised because I thought it was gonna be, like I said, I thought it was gonna be not as good as the first one, but okay. But I think it is as good or maybe better than the first one. I'll say better. It's better than the first one, and it really goes in detail of some things that you see in the first one, like some mysteries, like that curse, the curse of him not being able to get in the water. You really learn how that happened, and I like the little twist they have there at the end. So yeah, another game I played. I started playing a very little of. I think basically the prologue of Trails of Cold Steel 4, because I was just like, I just want to see how it starts out. And oh my god, the way it starts out. Now, if you're a person who played all the Trails games, from Trails in the Sky, including the PSP ones, I know that's kind of hard to do, and you got to do what I did. I mean, unless you can read Japanese, you can play it. You can play it like on your PSP / or PS Vita. I forget what it is. I think it's PSP actually, right? I think it's PSP, yeah. But I got the emulation where it kind of translated it. And if you play all of them up to now, seeing this prologue is like, it's so cool because you got the two heroes from the first one, the two main heroes, Estelle and Joshua. Then you have the two heroes from the second one, Lloyd Bannings and Ellie McDowell.
Okay.
And they're together in this because they're doing a mission, and these are after the events of what happened in the third. Contact has been lost to the Arabonia, so they snuck in and they're trying to get some information what's happening, what's going on. So it's cool because these people, now I did meet them technically in the PSP game, and I fought with them a little bit, but now seeing them in this 3D space and actually having voice acting with them, it's like, oh man, this is cool. And actually see them older, like especially Estelle and Joshua, like they were basically the age of the kids I played in Trails of Cold Steel. They were like their age. They're older than them. So now I'm seeing them as young adults. And it's like, oh man, they grown up. And then seeing this girl who was with them, it was also a younger girl with them. And she was like a little kid. Now she's like a teenager now. With Lloyd and Ellie, they had a little girl with them too. And now I think she was younger even than the other girl. Now I want to call her she's probably a preteen or something like that now. So, because she had powers, and I think she still had a little bit of powers. Like she can still sort of see she can sense things. She can sense something happening, some things going on. And that other girl, the other girl I was talking about, darn, what's her name? I forgot her name. Renee. Renee, like, she used to be really dark, man. She was a trained assassin, basically. I mean, now she's not. She's been redeemed, but she still has that little darkness to her. And I like that you can see now their specials, which I've seen in these other games, which basically like Super Nintendo mixed PlayStation games, to now seeing it in 3D. And it's like, oh, okay, this looks pretty neat. Yeah. So it's cool how they really bring in all these characters all come together in this one game. I also started Scarlet Nexus, which was an RPG that came out last year, a JRPG / action game. It kind of reminds me of like how Tales of Arise was. While Tales of Arise does have some of the Devil May Cry elements, but it's is a whole lot more RPG than this game. This game is probably more close to the action with RPG elements, while Tales of Arise is an RPG with action elements, So in that way. But Scarlet Nexus, the story, I'm going to tell you the story based on what I played, not what it actually is. Because I'm still trying to understand. Some reason in this world, something happened in the past where I guess humans are going to be extinct, and these things called others, these weird looking creatures, I guess they come down and they kill people, I guess in this kind of void that's up in the sky or in space. I don't know if it's in space or the sky. I don't know. It's somewhere. And they come down, they're about to kill humans, I guess. And then the humans stop them, and now they got these trained people that fight these guys, that fights these the others and protects the citizens. So now it's like the people in the city, sometimes they have alerts to say, oh no, others are coming. That's when people like me and my group will go out and stop them. And now I'm training. I'm a cadet right now, and I'm training, and we're going on like some missions and things of that nature right now. So I'm still in the early stages where we're still doing some training. I guess something special about me. I don't know, because people are saying they're more impressed by me, and it seems like the media loves to videotape us. We get really annoyed. They tell us like, hey, don't talk to them a lot. They call them the crows because they're drones and they're always flocking near you. And they're into me because I am also the son of some prominent politician. I joined this group, so people they're looking at me because I'm somewhat famous and doing this, and it's a story behind that too. But I'm still in the early stages of this game. I don't want to look at it yet. There's no like, okay, what's actually going on? I'm going to try to do it from the game's point of view. I mean, I kind of hate how these games sometimes start. Like, it's like, come on, man, can you tell me why shit is like this? Like, why do these others look like a bunch of trash put together to make a creature? I was like, why are they made like this? Like, what is this? But I guess maybe you find out during the game, they'll explain what exactly all these others are, what these creatures are. Gameplay wise, it's fun. I really love the action in this. Like, it feels good. How you can meld your abilities with your partners. Like, you play as just your character though, but they'll come and kind of help you. Like, they'll be fighting on their own. You can put in commands for them, like if you want them to just focus on the enemy you're fighting or do their own thing, et cetera, et cetera. But they also can meld their powers with yours, so it looks pretty good. Like, I meld this girl's fire, which works because you can use PK, telekinesis, like psychic powers. Like, you can lift objects and stuff and throw it at the enemy. So if I pick up like oil, throw an enemy, and then use her firepower with my sword or something, I got like a fire sword, I'll just, light them up. And yeah, it's in other ways with other people's abilities too. It's different ones. Like, you got the girl, she does fire. You got another one who does, he makes you invisible so you can do stealthy moves against enemies. Another guy does, what does he do? Electricity. And yeah, I think those are so far those are only abilities I have. Like, so far I'm getting different members each time. So I guess I don't know if there's going to be a time where I can choose people to go with, or it's just going to be something that goes along with the story. I'm not sure yet. So far, the side quests have just been like, say, hey, I want this many items. So as you go out in the story mode, you might pick up the item from an enemy, and then you go back and give it to them. That's all they are. So I don't know if that's how all the side quests are going to be, but so far, the two I did so far, it's just a collected thon kind of thing. So it's not really that interesting. It's just good to do to, level up or get an item, basically. But yeah, the game, so far I like it. Story-wise, I ain't going to say it's great. I mean, the gameplay-wise is really what's keeping me into it. Story-wise, it's not bad. The voice acting, I can deal with. It's fine. It's more of a mystery because I don't really know. I'm still trying to figure out really what's going on. Like, where's the story going? Apparently this is a series because I saw it when I did have what's it called? When I did have Funimation or Crunchyroll, one of them, they had the streaming service. I saw Scarlet Nexus up there as a series, so I was like, "Oh, this is a series." I don't know what came first, the game or the series. I have no idea because the series it was pretty new. I forgot the year that it had up there. It was pretty new. So, yeah. Okay. So what else have I played? I played a little bit of Halo. I just been doing some random like missions around the map. I think I did one story mission there. Like I just like to jump in. Like the shooting, it feels so great. Like I like jumping in, doing a mission or like capturing a point and then just getting out. But it's like it's got its what am I gonna say? I kind of like it's like I like the openness to it. Like it's not bad. Like I enjoy it, but I think I still prefer a more streamlined story because it keeps me focused. Because now the way I play, I'm taking too much space in between missions that I'm forgetting what the story is, what the story is about. And I was like, okay, what am I trying to do, or like, what's the goal here? So that's what sucks about it. Like, if there was more streamlined, I'll be more focused on the story. But since it's kind of open, the openness is kind of making me not. The story's not bad. It's just that's just how open world games are for me. If like I'm not going to remember a lot if I'm doing a whole bunch of other things, like other missions that have nothing to do with the story. I played one match of multiplayer. Let's try it out. I got my ass kicked and I just didn't play no more. So that was it. I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to bother. And last but not least, Stranger Things. I'm on the last chapter now. Excuse me. Life is Strange. I said Stranger Things, and I even wrote it up here. Life is Strange.
I thought you
True Colors.
maybe been playing like that Stranger Things 3 or something.
Why you didn't just ask? You could just ask me, and then I would have I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We got distracted talking about something else.
Life is Strange. True Colors. I'm on the last chapter. The story's pretty good. I almost feel like this is shorter than the first one.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I'm getting through this pretty fast. Now, the first one was done episodically, so I was, was time in between. And I think I was playing episodes multiple times just to see how things went when I was playing it back then. That was years ago. But yeah. So in this one, I guess because I'm not really replaying it and I'm just going right through, I wonder if maybe it is shorter. I'm going to compare it to see what other people are saying. It just feels like it's shorter. And I think this game came out for $60. I don't know if it's worth $60. Like put it like this, I will be angry if I pay $60 for this game. Like the game is fine, but I'll be like, damn, this is a lot for this game.
Right.
But I mean, I guess it's some replay value to that because you get different outcomes. So, but the outcome I'm feeling so far now, I'm not even feeling the need to play it again.
Oh, wow.
Like
okay.
I'm actually okay with the choices I made. Also, I didn't know, which apparently is in the trailer, because I don't remember the trailer, that this person, a big thing happens. I'm not going to say it because even though it's in the trailer, people probably know. I didn't know because I played it and I was like, oh crap. And then I said, is there a way to prevent this? And then somebody said, oh, well, this happens. It was in the trailer. So, oh, this is going to happen regardless. I was like, oh, damn. I said, Jesus, I did not see that coming. And, and so I was like, oh shit, got real. But overall the game it's fine. Because I like these type of games. I like the choices and the story is pretty good. I like how she basically getting people's thoughts, like their feelings to know and helping people. And this whole kind of conspiracy thing that's happening in this town. It's a fine game. I still like the first one better than this one. I haven't, I haven't played the second one or the side stories in between them. I played the Superboy. What's it called? With the boy who pretends.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what that's called.
I forgot. Well, I played that one, but that's not a full game, so I can't compare it to that. Yeah, I mean it's a fine game. I think it doesn't feel like the first one. Like, I mean, it doesn't like the first one really grabbed me. Man, I guess because this is the first time I played a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with this one, I don't like because they had this in the first one, like how you can't fast forward. Like if you did a scene before, it's like, okay, can I skip this conversation because because where it saves, because you can't just save anywhere, so it saves at a certain point. So I was like, oh, I have to watch this cutscene again, and you can't skip it. Like, can I skip the dialogue at least, like just to get straight to where I get my choice? Because like I gotta watch this whole thing again, and some of those scenes they're a little long. I don't want to sit there and watch it, but I had to watch the person sing for a while. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! I said, come on, let me skip this, please. I know what they're doing, but I feel like give people that choice. Because all you have to do is make it so that, hey, if I hold this button down, it skips, so I won't accidentally skip.
Right.
Can be done, but I don't know. But other than that, the game is totally fun. Though I still think, I mean, this is just for me personally. And I mean, hey, this is the type of people that do the game. And I understand. I get it. Like, mostly it's probably white people who make these games. So it's just that when I see black people in there, like, it looks like it's a black woman in there. And no, there are people like her. I totally get it. I just kind of wish I could feel something. Like, it just feels like, she could have just been white. She could have been anything. I mean, basically, it's nothing really different. Like, these people all kind of
a blank slate with a different color scheme.
Yeah, I kind of want something more in depth. I mean, maybe we'll get there in the future. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with what they did, honestly. Like, I'm not saying, I just wish there was a game where I can feel that. That's what I'm feeling. Because honestly, wait, she's technically Asian. I mean, I don't know. They don't tell me what she is though. Like her and her brother, but I do go do a flashback where I see her parents, and they're both Asian. So it's not like, I mean, I guess they're just American. They're American, probably a generation Asian. I mean, I don't know what generation, but they're so Americanized. And I've seen people like that. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be no culture thing. You see, they listen to music just like anybody. I mean, the music that traditionally people their age listen to, or like where they grew up at. There's nothing there. So I get that. You could get away with that, and you could get away with they could get away with what they did with this black woman too. So I'm like, dude, I just want to see something. I wish there was a game where I could actually see like, oh, this is not basically a traditional person, like a San Francisco type of place. I don't even know how to explain. Like just people who are just, I don't know, progressive, I guess. It's like a white town, but a white progressive town or something. Like a white progressive neighbor, something like that. It's just so very, like, I don't know, like what people imagine. I guess what certain people imagine an area they will love to be in. Like these are the type of people they will love to be with. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe I can think of the word later on for it. But yeah, it's just very
idyllic television style.
Very idyllic, which is not wrong. It's cool, but it's very plain-ish or something. But I like how they cope with trauma and things of that nature. I like what they do with that. That's pretty interesting and good how they deal with that. So, I mean, but other than that, the game is good.
Nice.
All right, so I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment. All right. And we're back. And then we're flashbacking to 2012. Okay, I remember where we at here. So, because we haven't done a flashback segment like a traditional one in a while this month, because we really had a lot of games to talk about. So, yeah. But now we got some games to mention. Starting 2012, we got Mutant Mudds for the 3DS. So you said you've seen this game before.
Yeah,
so what is this game?
I'm familiar with it a little bit. I recognize it as a game that people talked a lot about during like the 3DS era of like, this is a really cool game. I think it's like a side-scrolling platform, but with some action elements. Like I think you have like a gun or like a pea shooter or something, because I think you're just like a kid. It reminds me a lot of like Mother. Like it has that kind of style to it, but maybe a little more advanced in graphics. Not really fully advanced, but just like a more grown-up looking character.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems cool. I never got around to playing it though.
I'm trying to look at it right now to see what it looks like. Oh, okay. Oh, it's on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Beaten Mudds Collection? They got more than one?
Yeah, I think I want to say there's like 3 games, but it might just be 2.
Was this on the Direct?
Has it been on? Maybe it's been on one.
I don't mean, it's just a trailer right here, but darn, because I've never seen this before. Oh, there's a Mud Blocks.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I knew that.
But yeah, that's cool. All right. So what else we got here? We got, I don't know. Do I want to mention this? I'm not going to mention it. I mean, unless it's got a good score. If it got a good score, I will mention it. Got it. Yeah, it does got a decent score. Shit. Wait a minute. It did get a good score on the Xbox 360 though.
Weird.
That sucks. But everybody else got like in the 7s. So, and this PC Gamer gave it an 80. Gave it an 80 out of 100. All right. So this game is called Puddle, and it is a puzzle game where I'm going to assume you play as a puddle. So let me see.
It's got to be some kind of like physics-based thing or something. Right?
Here it is. You see? Are you watching the video? Because I'm about to read the description.
No, but I'll look up a video.
It says, in the game, this is off the Wikipedia site. In the game, the player must guide a puddle of fluid to its target destination by tilting the scene, not by moving the fluid itself. Okay. Similar to Nintendo's WiiWare game Fluidity. They must work with physics, friction, momentum, and the unique properties of each type of fluid and environment to send as much of each puddle past such obstacles as fires, rifts, spills, and others. Okay, yeah, all right. I feel
like maybe I tried this out on Xbox Live or something back when there were demos for everything.
Hey, this is a Konami game.
Cool. Oh. Well, they don't make games anymore, so we'll never see a new one.
Yeah. All right, a big one that came out 10 years ago, Final Fantasy 13-2 came out. Yeah, actually, I don't know how this got reviewed, because I didn't like the first one, so I did not care about these. It got okay scores. Not as good as the first one, though, but it got like a 79 on Metacritic for 360 and PS3. PC got a 75. But Destroy Toy gave it an 8. Now, Edge gave it a low score. They gave it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
That's the lowest score I've seen. Eurogamer gave it an 8. Famitsu, they give it a 40 out of 40. Man, Square Enix paid them off. Game Informer gave it an 8. GameSpot gave it a 7.5. Yeah, I guess what brought it down was Edge. Edge was brought it down because everybody else seemed like they gave it 8s. So I guess it was okay. I mean, I think now that I remember when I listened to the podcast, people who played it, they thought it was fine. Okay game. But I think I heard somebody say, if you didn't really like the first one, this is not going to make you like this one, maybe. And I didn't like the first one. The gameplay wise was okay. The story was just, it was too weird. And yeah, very anime-ish type of story. Dialogue wasn't good. Yeah, I just didn't like it. All right. So we got here a game called Never Dead. I heard this game before. It's another Konami game.
Is that the one where you have like your head coming off or something?
I think that's what I want to say. Yes,
definitely played the demo for that one.
The protagonist is an immortal and will be able to survive severe injuries. Over time, the player will lose body parts and will have to collect the removed limbs by rolling into them.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember that game.
This did not get good scores.
No.
Yeah, it's got a 50 and a 52 on PS3 and 360. Yeah, the highest score I see on this right here is a 6, maybe, by GameSpot. Yeah, IGN gave it like a 3. But Famitsu gave it a 32 out of 40. That's good. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I that was the lowest score for a PS3 version. Now, I guess because it's the same version, so people just reviewed it on that system. Because the Xbox 360, a 2. Destructor gave it a 2. That's the lowest score I've seen.
Mm.
All right. Then who gave it a 7.5? Who was that? Official Xbox magazine? Okay.
Yeah. In the pocket of big Xbox. Like, come on, guys. It's not that bad.
Another huge game came out. Soul Calibur 5 came out. The 5th one in the series. Well, actually, technically, it probably was a side one. Wasn't there? Maybe. Could always assume they are ones that are not numbered.
I mean, there was like the PSP one, I think.
What is this? Soul Calibur Broken Destiny.
I think that's the PSP one or the Vita
okay.
one. I think it's PSP though. Yeah, I think those are like your side story ones. Otherwise, it's just been mainline stuff.
Yeah. All right, so you got what we got here? Do people like this game?
I think this was like post peak of Soul Calibur, but it was still okay.
Yeah, it got it. Well, 81 on PS3, 77 on 360.
Yeah.
On Metacritic. Yeah, I got decent scores. I don't really see any super low scores or anything. Nah, the score is like a 7. So I guess it was fine. Like the last Soul Calibur I really played a lot was the Yoda one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here pretty much.
All right, so that is it for 2012. So now we're going back 20 years to 2002. And we got Dark Arena for the Game Boy Advance. This is a first-person shooter for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And it got a 65 on Metacritic. Not good, but okay-ish. Like,
yeah, it's serviceable.
I mean, IGN gave it an 8, though, so that's good. No, but Nintendo Power, man, they get a 2.8, so they didn't pay them. And X-Play gave it a 2 out of 3. Oh, yeah. They didn't like it either.
Probably part of the higher scores comes from the novelty of it being a 3D shooter on the Game Boy Advance, which was obviously not really up to par on that. I think that this ran basically like original Doom on some of those older systems.
Okay.
There was a Super Nintendo version of Doom, wasn't there?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Okay. Because I knew there was a first-person shooter. I just didn't know which one. I didn't know it was Wolfenstein or not. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Salt Lake 2002 came out on the Game Boy Advance.
Olympics time, Dominic.
Yeah, it is.
Getting into it.
I mean, it's quite a few. There's quite a few of these games that came out. ESPN has something. It was just a lot of these extreme or Olympic sports games out around now. Also, you have Forever Kingdom for the PS2, which is a RPG, a JRPG. You know, I'm assuming is that. Yes, and it is. just by the name and the look. It got rated 64 on Metacritic. Not that great of a score. I remember seeing this cover like in a gaming store. I think GameSpot, or if it was called GameSpot then, I'm not even sure. I said GameSpot. I mean GameStop. It's from Software. It's a From Software game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is before they realized that, no, we got to make it super hard and boring looking, and people will love it. This was just boring looking. It's a prequel to Evergrace. So, did From Software do that game too? Oh, I remember Evergrace. It was one of the first PlayStation 2 games. So, From Software did that game. Well, let me see the one. I'll look at that some other time. I don't got time to this. All right, let me focus. All right, so another game that came out, a huge game that came out 20 years ago in January was Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Like, the people love this game. Even you see, look on the box art, Damien. It says Best of E3. It got the Best of E3 award on the box here. but really, this was like a great first-person shooter. I remember people just talking about it and saying like how good it is. I had the game too, but I played it very all the choppiness because my computer cannot freaking really play that game, but I forced myself to play like 3 levels, and then I just didn't play no more. But
yeah.
But I end up playing the PS2 version, which is the Frontlines, the console versions, I should say. And I love that game. I love that game. But because I was like, good, this game I can actually play it. So I really got my Allied Assault fix from that. But I just remember reading the magazines like, oh man, this is such a great first-person shooter. This is where you do Normandy Beach, and it looks so good. And I was like, oh man. And it did. Like, even on my crappy ass computer, when I went to that, I said, oh my God, this is Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, look at those people just getting shoot in the water. And yeah, you know what? Saving Private Ryan has taught me you can shoot a gun and the bullets will go in the water. I did not know that at first. I always thought, like, you know what? Why don't people just jump in the water? The bullets can't get them. But now I knew, like, oh, it still can. I say, oh, you're never safe. You're never safe.
This is back when it was like, we won't put blood in these games because we're respecting the troops.
That's right. Yeah, Medal of Honor games, it still was that to this one. They had like 2 Medal of Honors before this one, I think. At least 2 good ones anyway. I don't know if there was any other ones. But yeah, they would say that they would not put any blood. You would just see people die, and it was fun. I didn't care. Yeah. I mean, then again, I didn't play. Only game first-person shooter I really played was Doom, and that was crappy looking blood. So I didn't know what the hell real looking blood really looks like. Like, well, at that time, like, because of the graphics, I thought it would look real. But yeah, I was like, I didn't care. I still feel like I'm killing Nazis and stuff. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And now I can't go without blood, Daniel. If I don't see blood, I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's kind of crazy how, like, from Allied Assault, the next year they did Medal of Honor Rising Sun, which I still think I played that and I was like, oh, this is cool. But Allied Assault was on a different level. Like, that predated Call of Duty and was like the premier I want to play Normandy Beach experience, right? And
yeah, it seemed like the pinnacle. Like that was the top one. Mm-hmm. And then exactly. I mean, then the first Call of Duty came. It was like almost homage to that. It was like, oh, Call of Duty. I didn't feel the same as Allies. Frontline. Well, for me personally, it would be Frontlines because Allied Assault I couldn't really play. But I like Call of Duty. I say I like it. But then after Call of Duty, I didn't really care about World War II no more. That first Call of Duty. Like, I honestly did not care about World War II anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't into it. I was like, I got enough fix of that. All right. So what else we got here? Oh, the music. The music was great in this game. I mean, you talking about, you got, who was doing the music? It was a movie person.
Hans Zimmer. I don't know if that's true.
Then I don't think it's Hans Zimmer. No, it's Michael Giacchino. Who did the Spider? Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but
yeah, I think it's like Giacchino.
Yeah, who did the music for Spider-Man?
Oh, okay, very cool.
Why did I see that? Because I watched some of the credits and I remember seeing that name. I was like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy from movies. Moto GP2 came out. That motorcycle game. I never in my life played a motorcycle game on a console.
Yeah, I think I played a demo on the 360, and that's. I'm trying to think.
Have I ever played a game that was a racing game and I was on a motorcycle like that? Like, it was specifically just motorcycles.
Not Mario Kart where you're playing them on a motorcycle.
And not like Grand Theft Auto or games of that nature where you like, oh, you got a racing part to this game or something like that. Yeah, I'm not counting those because but I think only like the arcade is the only every time I ever played like a motorcycle. And oh my God, you talking about me sucking at driving games in arcade, motorcycle games. Good God, because I'm always leaning and just hitting that wall, then leaning to the right and hitting that wall. I never could stay in the middle. I never could. Like, oh my God, I would try so hard. I said, come on, just stay. I was like, God, man. All right, that's why I never drove a real motorcycle. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna fall. If I do that. All right, here we go. Papa the Rapper 2 came out. I totally forgot there was a 2 to this game.
Yeah, it did not get the same level of like excitement from anybody. I feel like.
Well, it got 67 on Metacritic. So it definitely wasn't high. Let me see. What did the Game Informer? They don't have the Game Informer one here. Okay, that's the only one I would have seen. But yeah, it got okay scores. Like, yeah, it definitely didn't get that love. When they did the remake, they only remade one, right?
I think so. That sounds.
Should have just did two too. Also, I mean, it's like, just get that fucking thing in there.
Here's a bonus pack. We made it better.
So where I'm at here? Oh, another Salt Lake game. We got Draken: The Ancient Gates, which is a RPG for the PS2. I don't even see like a rating thing here. I'm going to assume that. Oh, here we go. It got 78. Oh, it actually got a decent score. 78 on Metacritic. It seemed more like a. Oh, it's an action adventure game. Okay. I don't see gameplay of it. Well, I don't know. I'm going to say it's all right. I mean, it's got 78, so go ahead and get it if you got a PS2. Airblade came out, which was trying to be like the new Tony Hawk, where you don't need wheels on your board. And it was trying to go for the Back to the Future kind of thing, too. Say, hey, look, you got a hoverboard, man. You can do all these tricks on a hoverboard. You can do more air because it's a hoverboard. It got okay ratings, but it definitely wasn't on the Tony Hawk level.
Yeah. It feels like this is what inspired Spider-Man 3 and James Franco's portrayal of the Green Goblin.
And last but not least, we got Grandia 2, which is a RPG, and it came on the PS2. It was a Dreamcast game also.
I remember those games.
It came first on, I think it came first on Dreamcast in Japan anyway. And I remember Grandia. The series, I never played it before. But I remember people having like some liking to it. This one got rated pretty high. It got 90 out of 100 on Metacritic. People did like this series. I think there was a 3 also, I want to say. I don't know if there was, maybe there was sub ones after that, or I don't know if it was a 4, or maybe it was just a subtitle after that. But yeah, I remember people like it. I never gave it a chance. So I don't know how it is, but I remember the HD remaster of it. And yeah, I see it right here. It's on Steam and GOG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is based on the Dreamcast version of the game. So there is a difference to this? To the Dreamcast version, to the PlayStation 2 version or something? I don't know. But yeah, maybe it's like bigger boobies in the older version or something like that. Like bigger anime boobies or something. And then they said they had to tame it. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So now we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. And now we get to the gaming news. So what we got there?
All right, Dominic. So with a new update to NHL 22, they have added new national teams, including the women's national team, Dominic. So there's
I saw that.
Finally some female representation in those games.
Yeah, we get the WNBA. We got the WNBA in the 2K. They had like you could play as the teams for a little while, but now they got it more expanded. You can play seasons. Or my player. So and now this having the national women's team up there, that's
pretty cool.
Hey, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I gotta look at the message boards where the people complain about it.
I'm sure you'll see plenty of that.
And how this is hurting the game. Because they're taking away resources to focus on the main game, Daniel. To put these women in here.
I still haven't got my guy in the stands getting his hot dog. All you're giving me is ladies.
Actually, I don't know if they do that in these games. I haven't played an NHL game in a while. Do they have people banging on the glass? Like, ah! like I see, like I always see when I watch the games.
I want to see them only get excited when there are fights on the ring.
I want to see where the glass breaks. Well, it's not even glass. It's like I don't know what
plexi.
It is. Yeah.
I want to see it when the plexi pops out and hits somebody.
Yeah, because I've seen that before. I want to see like, hey, they hit us so hard, the plexi pops out. All right. So what else we got, man?
That's cool. It's my other news, Dominic. We got an official announcement from Respawn that they're working on 3 Star Wars titles. It sounds like these might be the final Star Wars titles coming out of EA. as their, exclusivity deal comes up, and we already know
Respawn
that,
just themselves are doing that?
It's one of those things where, like, I think EA has gotten under the we're just going to name every studio that's working on a thing by the name of the biggest studio that we currently have. So in this case, like, Respawn proper, it sounds like, is working on the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, as a lot of people have speculated at this point. So
wait a minute. Who made the first one?
Respawn.
Holy shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that they did that.
Yeah, and then a couple of years ago, they started like a branch of the studio. Like, I think it's still Respawn proper. But to do that Call of Duty Above and Beyond for the Oculus, that was the VR Call of Duty game that wasn't really that well received. But apparently they are working on a first-person shooter style Star Wars game, not a Battlefront game, apparently. So something different, maybe a Dark Order or something like that. We'll see. And then there's a new studio called Bit Reactor, who's actually here in Maryland. They spun out of Firaxis. There's some former Firaxis people. And apparently they're working on like a tactical strategy game in the Star Wars universe. And a lot of people are speculating, because this is Firaxis, that it could be like a more XCOM style thing than, like a StarCraft or something like an RTS style thing. So that could be cool. I'm interested to see what they have to do. It's always neat when they're like local studios that are working on things. Obviously here in Maryland, we have them and Bethesda. So yeah. What do you think, Dominic? Like, it's interesting that right at the finish line, we're finally starting to see EA try and pop out a whole bunch of Star Wars games when they've had this license for so many years and have only like occasionally used it, right?
Now that other people are doing Star Wars stuff, now they're like, oh yeah, let's just make some Star Wars games now. We got this license. Yes, actually use it. I'm happy. Yeah, they're finally doing it. But like you said, just to do it now, I guess. And look, when there's no movies or anything, I mean, you got some television shows, but what's the next big Star Wars movie?
I think it was supposed to be the Rogue Squadron one that Patty Jenkins was going to work on, but then there was a lot of speculation that was getting put on hold so that she could work on the next Wonder Woman movie. Oh,
so yeah, because it's been really quiet as far as the movies goes. I mean, we got the shows, which now that we see is like they've been better than the movies. So I'm okay with them just staying on Disney Plus then. And so,
yeah, and they've already got a ton of those. Of course, there's going to be another Mandalorian. There's also supposed to be that Cassian Andor show, which is like who really asked for that? But okay, let's do it.
So what was it? Cassian who?
He's the guy he is the Han Solo-esque character from Rogue One.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I mean, I hope it's decent.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know. But hey, something different. I mean, different-ish. Though I was kind of hoping for something in not another universe, but something that takes place away from the main thing. But I understand. It's just it keeps people nostalgic and stuff, and you don't have to be too creative. All right, so because I'm always hearing about these games being made, but what's like the one that is coming out soon?
I think we will see the Fallen Order sequel relatively soon. I don't know if it'll release this year, especially with the way things have shaken out with COVID and everything. But I think we'll most likely see the reveal of that on like May 4th. May the 4th be with you, the Star Wars Day. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the big thing.
Oh, yeah, the Lego Star Wars, technically, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And that's what I was just about to say. Because that Lego Star Wars game is coming out before then, I think, they're going to have a big announcement for that. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's also that the Zynga game that's supposed to be like the Fortnite one, I have no idea when that's supposed to be coming out, but also that's debatably large, right? Like I don't think there's many people actually excited about that game coming out, because you can just have real Fortnite, but with Star Wars characters in it, like they already have. So
as I'm about to say, they got to take them out. They're going to say, hey, you got to take them out. It's done. The license is gone. You can't even use the ones you had.
Yeah, but I own the NFT of the Mandalorian in Fortnite, so you can't take it away from me, Dominic. So there, NFTs. All right. Speaking of 3 games in development, Dominic, allegedly before this whole Microsoft deal for Activision goes through, we should see at least 3 more Call of Duty games on the PlayStation, including this year's, which will be a new Modern Warfare game from Infinity Ward, as well as next year's game, which will be coming from Treyarch. And then allegedly Warzone 2 will be a thing that happens before that deal.
Can't wait for that. Yeah.
Solidifies. I mean, that's basically what I was speculating, is we would see, this year and probably next year's game, because the development and the agreements will have shaken out before that deal closes sometime mid next year.
I'm actually surprised it's not like a 2024 deal or something like that.
It could very well be, we just don't know that far into the future. But yeah, Bobby Kodak's out there like, let's sign all these deals with PlayStation before we sign over our lives here. So we'll see.
Now, here's the deal. Are those deals like they get the maps first still? Like that's what it is?
That's a good question, is like, where are they on the exclusivity stuff with them still? What was their original contract? Because they signed that, a couple of years ago now, right? When they switched over from Xbox to PlayStation. So, yeah. I wonder how
ever
long
since
they
this
signed for.
generation, right?
Yeah. Well, like last generation, right? Like,
I keep forgetting
stuff,
about
right?
the PS5 and shit. But
yeah. It's because they don't exist yet, Dominic. They don't exist until they're in our hands. So, Sony, if you want to move this along, send us one. So let's see, Dominic, we're getting Steam Decks, we're getting PS5s, Xbox. If you want to hit us up, send us some mini fridges. That'd be great too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we don't need your console. Just give us like cool computers or something.
I was about to say, I need a computer. I need anybody, I don't know, those custom PCs or Alienware, the highest one, or video cards. You want to? Well, actually, I can't put the video cards in my computer.
NVIDIA, yep, there you go. Intel, anybody want to sponsor us extreme PC upgrades? Let's do that. All right, Dominic, in some other news, we've got some speculation that NetherRealms is working on Mortal Kombat 12 instead of like an Injustice or something like that.
Okay.
I think that's been kind of discussed in the past, because there was that talk that maybe Warner Brothers would be selling the games division, so they didn't want to necessarily do an Injustice because they couldn't, guarantee that they would have access to those Warner Brother DC properties. Now, there's a leak, quote unquote, coming from Jonathan Anderson, who's actually a senior production manager at NetherRealms. He basically posted a photo of some concept art on his desk, and you get a little peek at the corner of his computer, and it says like there's a file there called MK12_master and reptile. So people are speculating, this is basically a controlled leak kind of thing. He has since deleted the post, but like, you don't need that post to be there to do the job that it is currently doing, which is us talking about it, GameSpot talking about it, IGN talking about it, basically everyone on the internet interested in Mortal Kombat talking about, this quote unquote leak. So it's interesting. I wonder how soon we would see that, if it would be something that shows up at like a Summer of Games, Jeff Keighley Fest, or a E3, whatever that is this year, that kind of thing, or if we'd see it sooner. I'd say the timeline would probably be even as far out as like the Game Awards, because typically those games come out in like March or April, so they could hold off. Well, I guess if it's not coming this year, which I don't expect it would be, they could hold off that long until till next year. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know when this game come out. I mean,
do you want to do Mortal Kombat this soon? I mean, I say this soon, but only because you've been playing Mortal Kombat relatively recently. It's been a couple of years since release.
It's been when did it come out?
2018, 2019.
Okay, so it's been around for a while. Now when did it Aftermath come out? Was that 2020?
The year after. So let's see.
2019.
Yeah, 19 was 11. So I feel like Aftermath must have been 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I think it's been around for a good amount. I mean, technically, they can do that. I mean, I'll still be playing 11 because I'm gonna have to wait till the next pack comes out,
right?
And because I'll buy that one because I'm not making that mistake again.
You mean you don't want to buy this game like 7 times?
So technically, I
again?
wanted to come out really soon, Daniel, because I wanted to be so that I could get the game maybe next year or 2 years from now. Because if it any longer, I gotta wait 2 more years for that, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for the next presidency. Man.
And we know Donald Trump's not gonna let Mortal Kombat 12 release. So
now they let some like new character in there, like trying to think what Trump character would like.
Donald Trump Jr. needs to be exclusive to the Xbox. We don't want it on the Japanese
or
console.
That guy on the Capitol who wore like he looks like Davy Crockett or some shit.
The QAnon shaman, yeah.
Yeah, they should have him. Yeah.
I hate how good of character that would actually probably be.
Exactly.
Oh God, we live in fucking
and it should be a map. It should be a map just that's the cap, like inside the Capitol.
There's a lot of Capitol talk this week, Dominic. What's going on with you? You all right?
Because I saw that I was watching CNN and they were talking about investigation shit. But they should have the guy who took the podium like walking in the background or something. Or that you can pick him up. You told people he's in the back. He's like, or something like that.
And then it drops the podium and you can throw that a second time.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Dominic. And some other news. Hyperscape, Ubisoft's Battle Royale game, is shutting down on April 28th.
I tried to advertise it, Daniel, but I guess it didn't go through.
I mean, this game just launched in July of 2020. It is one of the few games that it feels like Ubisoft is not actually. What's that?
So they're going to blame COVID. Even though the game should have actually got more play.
I was going to say, that just means more people are at home. What's going on there? Yeah, that's rough. I mean, they launched into a very busy segment of the market already. You had things like Valorant. That had to be out already by the time that came out, right?
Oh, yeah. That was out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the one that kind of directly competes with Hyperscape. And you have, of course, Is that just Riot, or is that like tied to League of Legends in some way? Can't remember.
Well, Valorant, I forgot which one. It's tied to one of them. But I forgot which one.
Yeah, and it just, it feels like that's got its player base. You already had all the other, the other battle royales out there. Like you were trying real hard. And now, of course, they have like that Tom Clancy one too that they've just announced, right? So they clearly are already like on the move, on to the next thing. But that feels like something very different from Hyperscape. Like it had interesting ideas, but I don't know what they were expecting to get out of that. Maybe they just, we can pump one of these out, see if it catches any kind of, talk. And if it does, then we'll support it. And if it doesn't, we won't. But it's kind of surprising to finally see Ubisoft watch something die on the vine, with their support of basically everything.
I mean, something had to go. Now, I'm just curious about like games like, what I'll just say, Spellbreaker. Like that came out around, I think, that year too. And how's that doing? How's that going to? I mean, is that going to last? I mean, it's been quite a few of them. I just can't think of them all because it's been quite a few. Like just online type of competitive games.
Mm.
But I always want to know, like, how do you last? Unless you, I mean, your production doesn't cost as much, and as much as money people put in there, it actually does cover it, so you can keep going. Or the servers, it doesn't really cost as much to keep going, that you can keep it going. I mean, like, you don't need as much money to keep it going. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, Dominic. We will see. Last news story I got here, maybe Ubisoft will make some more money to support some of these games via NFTs because they're still going full in with it. The Strategic Innovations Lab VP
In the future, Daniel. That's what they say. That's what tell us.
Had an interview with an Australian financial comparison site Finder, in which he basically, said it was the future. Like, gamers don't understand. His quote here was, "But we at Ubisoft are seeing first is the end game. We're not seeing the end game, Dominic. The end game is about giving players the opportunity to resell the items once they've finished, or once they're finished playing the game itself. So it's really for them. It's really beneficial, but they do not get it for now. We just don't get it, Dominic."
Well, I guess, for them, I mean, it's beneficial for us. I mean, because if you think it in that way, like, hey, I can get a digital game now and sell it, like, where I couldn't do it because I had to get a physical copy to do that and sell it at GameStop. Right. But I guess they're just becoming their own type of GameStop because it's still them, right?
Right, but that's what drives me crazy about this is like, and I've talked about it in the past, is like, that's not even what they're talking about for NFTs, because that's the obvious direction to go in, and I think there would be slightly less pushback if that were the case.
So I can just sell it to anybody, though, right? So they don't get the money, right?
No, that's the special thing about NFTs, Dominic. They do get the money because they've minted the NFT. They're the original artist, so there's always like a kickback to the artist.
Okay, so they are like the GameStop.
Exactly, yeah. So they get their cut off of it, and that's why it's so shocking to me that and so obvious that they don't really have an idea how to use this stuff, because that's the most obvious way, and I think the one that would give the least amount of pushback from people.
Yeah.
Now, you're obviously still going to get all of the, like, this is destroying the environment stuff, because that's just the case. I mean,
explain this again, because you know what? I read how it destroyed the environment so many times, and for some reason it doesn't stay in my head. So
it's basically the power consumption that is involved in these transactions. I think I was watching a video earlier that basically says, like, Chase can process a credit card payment for like minute amounts of power, whereas like, and I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was like 10-20 fold the amount of power it takes for the same transaction to be validated on the blockchain.
And what is this, like steam power or something? That's
I mean, it's literally coal? Energy. So coal, nuclear, we obviously don't use too many nuclear factories, but yeah, basically, coal or whatever, let's say dirty resources, there aren't many that are quite going green.
But they're keeping the mines going, Daniel. I mean, well, just people need jobs.
Yep.
What are they going to do up there in West Virginia?
They're going to maintain solar panels. That's what
nothing else to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like, I don't want to go down that direction.
Yeah.
Job retraining, all that stuff. What is a 60-year-old man who's only knows working the mine going to do? Is he really going to become a computer programmer? I don't know. Can we give him the opportunity to, though? Probably. Should there be other social safety nets? Now you got me going full communist, Dominic.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
So, yeah. I mean, that's what drives me crazy is if there are already mechanisms in place, like they're saying this as if it's, this is why we need to do it. But you already have an ecosystem. You already have a way of saying that I bought a product and validating that. Why can't you just Make it so then I can transfer it to somebody else. Why does it have to involve Bitcoin or, blockchain, Ethereum, ties? Why does it have to do anything with that? It's really just about it being the new trendy term to use. And it's always, we're looking at making it a greener method. And it's like, but you already have a greener method of doing it. Why are you forcing it to go this direction? And really, it just has to do with speculation, excuse me. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. And that's what, that's what drives me crazy is, all we're seeing now are these companies that are like, well, video gamers are saying it's bad, but they just don't know any better. We'll show them. But you're not giving us examples as to why. You're just saying no, in the future it's going to be the thing. And that can only be the case because you're making it the thing by forcing us to do it.
I was like, yeah, I got to see it first. And then, at that point, you know what? I probably can't play video games anyway. It's probably some reason I can't. I don't know. So something's going. It's like I probably won't care. I probably won't care about stuff like that
because you won't have the NFT eyeball implants that allow you to play video games.
Until I see the first one like really happen, it's like that's why I said, let me see what it is, and then I'll complain some more.
You got to buy into that Ubisoft quartz, Dominic. All right. So that is what I had for news this week. Did you see anything else before we get into the PlayStation Plus and Games for Gold for February of 2022, Dominic?
News? No, I have not seen anything.
All right. So for PlayStation Plus, we've got Planet Coaster Console Edition for the PS5, and then Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure, and EA Sports UFC 4 for the PlayStation Others. What do you think, Dominic? Decent selection? I saw there was a lot of pushback on social media about the choices of games, which seems okay.
I was like, you're getting a new game with Tiny Tina, the one shot.
Well, is that? I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. I thought that was the DLC for the old game.
Oh yes, yeah, that is.
Okay.
So a newish game, but
even then, like it's still a,
because the last time they got Borderlands, I don't think it was the whole thing. I think it was just that, so you didn't get it. But I thought that was okay. You getting Planet Coasters has been rated good, even the console versions. So if you're not really a PC gamer, it's like, hey, you got this game. And the EA Sports, okay, it doesn't seem like it's horrible. Even if I don't want to play these games, like, I won't get mad just because, like, I don't like them, but I look at it, I said, these are big games. I don't like them, but these are big games. Like, these are pretty high value games. It's just, I don't want to play them. Like, I don't already play Tiny Tina's thing, but to be somebody who does it, I don't know, man. It's like you can't, I don't know how you get mad or just over these free.
You can't win every time.
Because they didn't have to do this. They could have stopped.
Yeah. And I'm not even going to give them that much credit, but still, they are giving you, 3 games with this service. And, if you bought into this strictly because you thought every time you were going to get a game that you loved, then that's just silly on your part.
It is.
They aren't giving you a token to buy whatever game you want. They're giving you a random selection of games. And as it turns out, this month you didn't like any of the games. That's a shame. There have been plenty of months where, especially on the Xbox, there are games that I wasn't super into. But yeah. Yeah, so it seems like this Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep is basically the standalone version of that DLC. Because I wondered, because I didn't think that DLC was a standalone thing originally, but apparently now they have. So it is technically a new product.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say it was new-ish. It's because it's been around, but it's by itself, and not everybody had the DLC for that game. Like I said, I think they got Borderlands. I think Borderlands was a PS Plus game, but that was just the original game. It wasn't with the DLC. So
yeah,
this is fine. I don't whatever.
Yeah. All right. For games for gold this upcoming month, we've got Broken Sword 5.
Ah, yes.
The Serpent's Curse.
You remember I played the first because I was like, I'm going to play on a Broken Age, and you see how that went. But still, I did enjoy what I played of the first one. It's a very old, not very old, but it's an older point-and-click game. But I enjoyed it. And I don't know, I might just jump into 5 for the hell of it. I mean, I don't think you have to play all of them because
I'm sure.
Yeah. I think it's just an Indiana Jones kind of thing. Not Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones in the artifact mystery kind of way. I don't know if you do a lot of like jumping and fighting or anything in here. It seemed like but it deals with like conspiracy and.
All right. We also have Aerial Knights Never Yield, which you had just mentioned again last week when we were talking about the games we played this year. So
I thought it was just a Switch game. I didn't know it was going to be anything else, so now I can play it.
Yep. And we also got Hydrophobia and Band of Bugs.
I mean, not that I couldn't play it before, but now I can play it without paying for it.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, Hydrophobia. Yeah. What? I feel like we talked about this game.
Mentioned that recently too. Yeah.
Is this like an HD version or something?
I think it's just like the Xbox 360 version.
Oh, that's right.
They're still just scraping the bottom of the barrel of games to give you for free.
Damn.
Not that Hydrophobia was that bad, but I don't know. And Band of Bugs is like you use your avatar characters to fight bugs. So
oh my God.
Keeping avatars alive.
Yeah. You're really going to bear because I ain't never fucking heard of that shit. They need to put what's the one game I was like they need to put up for games with? Oh my God, Charlie Murder, yeah.
Yeah.
But let me see if it's backwards compatible now, because if it's not, I'm like, why not? Murder backwards. It says it's currently not. That was 2019. 2019 was not. There's a backwards compatibility community. Maybe somebody asked for it in this forum here. Oh no, that's just nobody said anything. Okay, so yeah, so,
hell no.
But it looks like it's still not, and that was that was a published game by Microsoft. I guess we got new releases.
All right, Dominic, we got new releases. The Artful Escape is now out on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5, as that was previously just on the Xbox and PC. You got Gunvolt Chronicles, Luminous Avengers.
I heard of Gunvolt before.
X2, yeah, they're kind of like Mega Man, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never gotten into any. I think I played a demo or two here and there, and they seem okay, but yeah, never really gotten into them.
What's your daughter doing back there?
My wife's playing with her.
Oh, okay.
Swinging her around or something. All right, we also have the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, PS5. PC version of that is coming eventually, but I don't think there's a release date on that yet. But this upgrades graphics, gives you, 4K, 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second if you want to go that direction.
Yeah.
I'm sure that looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, that's cool right there. They're getting that. Actually, why do I like this? No, I don't like this because I feel like if you have the game originally, it should just upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade for free.
I think there is an upgrade path for it, but yeah. Let me check actually.
And how much this game costs?
It costs $50.
Eat shit.
Now. Oh, wait, that's related to the movie because it popped up a thing. Limited time offer, purchase or upgrade to Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection between December and February, and you get a ticket to watch the Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. But there is a way to upgrade. Let me see. You have to pay, but I think it's like $10.
No, that's not bad.
Can upgrade PS5 with the PS Plus version, which is not entirely surprising, unfortunately. Even though they did eventually let you do that.
Did they stop selling it digitally?
Final Fantasy. Where is it? How to upgrade. Give me a cost here, people. Yes, $10. So that doesn't seem so bad because it's also, I think, if you have like Lost Legacy, you can pay $10 and then you get both Lost Legacy and 4. If for whatever reason you hadn't played 4, but you did play Lost Legacy. So that's kind of a cool workaround, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if they probably took the old version off sale so you can't just pay $20 and then upgrade it, or maybe you can and they're letting you work around it. I have my doubts they would let you do that.
See, look, honestly, I wouldn't be so like critical of this. I'll probably be maybe a little, only because how Xbox doing their games is like, it's hard for me to look at this and like, people say, oh, but we've been doing this all the time. I was like, But yo, this game came out 3 times now. I mean, for the older ones.
Yeah.
Dude, whatever. This is...
Yeah. All right, Dominic. And then we have the big one this week, Pokemon Legends Arceus for the Nintendo Switch. I haven't really seen a lot of reviews for it, but what I have seen is some relative positivity around it.
I think my friend's going to get it because that's what he seems to play mostly on his Switch anyway. So I'll probably have to ask him how he likes it when he finally gets it. I mean,
I'm definitely intrigued. It seems okay.
Yeah, it seems okay. It's probably more close to what I want out of Pokemon than the last one. But
I saw someone say, if you think about it as if it had just been a Wii game, then it's the best Wii game ever.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Daniel, because it's like, this is something I wanted maybe 15 years ago or something like that. Like, come on, man. It's like, y'all can step your game up. You got, it's not even a risk, really. You can make the same game, just make it fucking look incredible. It's like, even, I'll still be mad because I'm like, it ain't really much change, but at least I can say, man, it just looked damn good, though. It looked damn good. But it's like, or if you're going to keep it like this graphics, take some risk then. Shit. I'm like, dude, this Pokemon, I swear to God, I was like, why are they not saying their names? Like, why are they making noise? Dude, like, I thought they was making that noise on the Game Boy because your limitations of the sound, like the sound card in there.
That's just what the real Pokemon heads know the voices to be, Dom.
And now y'all just be like, oh, you gonna keep it like this? I'm like, what?
You and your animes, Dominic. You think that's what the real voices are? That's not
make
real.
Make it real growl then. I'm just saying, why isn't it a real growl? Why does it sound like what the fuck? These things talking like they're got some digital thing inside. What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's just all Porygon sounds. They're all fake Porygons.
That's what I'm frustrated about. Oh, but I forgot to mention you remember when I was telling you that when I was seeing the like PS5 commercials, I forgot what game it was, and I was telling you that I was seeing something come up at the end of them, but it was real quick. The Uncharted movie logo, but it comes so fast. Is that like did they figure something out? Like it will get embedded into your mind faster if they just flash it real quick to you?
There's definitely things that do that. Like I've even seen it on WWE entrances. Like they've embedded things like that before, and I don't know if it's
but it's so fast. Like you can't barely read
or
it.
if they're like testing something.
I just see Uncharted. I mean, then I looked. I say, that's just Uncharted, and then I was like, why is it going so fast?
Yeah,
like for anybody to read it, nobody can read it.
Subliminal, Dominic. You just have to see that commercial 3 times and all of a sudden it's stuck in your head that you want to go see Mark Wahlberg with a mustache.
See, you spoiled it, Daniel. What if I didn't see that trailer? And then now you just... That's true.
In the trailer, he doesn't have a mustache, so maybe he gets a mustache. I didn't want to tell you that I saw the screener of it. It's like it's the post-credit sequence. He grows out the mustache. You see it in real time.
I mean, that's what it looks like. It looked like that is the fucking post-credit.
Oh God. No, I don't think I've seen a trailer for that since that first one came out.
I mean, I saw it during Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Did I see a trailer for that in front of Spider-Man? I must have. There must have been one.
I'm mad that I still haven't seen like a Jurassic World trailer.
There was something in front of that Spider-Man movie that I feel like I wanted to mention, but I can't remember.
What, the moon falling into Earth?
No, although that looks like stupid fun. No, what's the Michael Bay, Jake Gyllenhaal thing? Did you see that? Where he's like a bank robber, but his brother's...
I saw that. But I guess I saw that on regular TV first.
Oh, okay. That looks so stupid, but also like it could be a lot of fun.
Actually, I don't know. It was regular TV. Maybe it's a streaming service that had a commercial because I seen that home first.
I would definitely watch that.
I mean, it seemed okay. Like, I'm just thinking like, okay, so the kid's gonna get his surgery money, but the father's going to go to jail, just like the Denzel Washington movie.
Yep. It's that John Q.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
That's what's going to happen. Because I was like, he's not going to get away with this because he saw his face. I guess he had like a mask or something.
And they murder like 50 million cops. Like, come on.
No, those cops they get out safely.
The cars blow up and then you just see them crawling
when they get
out of
shot,
the cars.
it's like, oh, shoulder.
He winged me.
Yeah, or like the leg. Oh, it's just like a mosquito bite.
Beautiful. All right, Dominic, you got anything else for the week?
Nah, we good.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and all those places. We will be having a bonus podcast this week with our, are we still calling it half-ass game of the year?
Yes, it's still half-ass.
Half-ass game of the year
I think
awards.
Like half of my games, more than half, I think, probably in my top 10 are games I didn't even play, but I thought it would probably be in my top 10 if I did.
Gotcha. All right, so stick around for that. That should be coming shortly after this one. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.